All right, could the party be finally over for Hunter Biden and his scams? Man, for many, many years, we all know, we all saw it, right? The guy is a criminal. And now finally, the Washington Post, well, if they write a story like this, it means that the walls just might be closing in on Hunter finally. Federal agency chargeable tax gun purchase case against Hunter Biden. Imagine that. Federal agents investigating President Biden's son, Hunter, have gathered what they believe is sufficient evidence to charge him with tax crimes and a false statement related to a gun purchase. All right, it would seem as though he's in big, big trouble. Kinda, probably not, maybe. You see, there's a silver lining here for Hunter. See, the gun thing and taxes, that's probably the least of his wrongdoing. I mean, it's serious, no doubt about it. For instance, we all know, I'm sorry, that he's a drug addict, and he got a gun. How did he get that gun? Here he is modeling it, nude, by the way. He got the gun by lying on a federal application, attesting that he was not a drug user when we all know, and according to his own memoir, yes, he was toking up and crack and all that stuff. It's very, very sad, and I do hope he's clean. But the real stuff is the work he did in other countries, possibly for other countries, against the interests of the United States. We still don't know the full scope of what went down in, say, Ukraine and several other countries. He was in China, as well as, I believe, Kazakhstan, yes, and Romania. At one point, Hunter brought a bunch of people to meet his father when he was vice president. We believe these individuals are from Kazakhstan, with whom he had business associations. We can only imagine what was the vice president doing there. And why did Hunter Biden seem to go to the White House every time he got back from an international trip? He was doing this stuff, folks. And 10% for the big guy, and everything that Bob Alinsky has said. What about all that stuff? Well, what they're saying right now in the Washington Post, it doesn't seem to pertain to these matters, to the laptop. Getting him on income tax, that's something, but there seems to be a lot more here. Just ask Tony Bobolinsky. The FBI walked out on him for some reason, but it's still there.
I was introduced to Joe Biden by Jim Biden and Hunter Biden. At my approximately hour-long meeting with Joe that night, we discussed the Biden's history, the Biden's family business plans with the Chinese, with which he was plainly familiar, at least at a high level. After that meeting, I had numerous communications with Hunter, Walker, Gilliar, and Jim Biden regarding the allocation of the equity ownership of Sinohawk. On May 13, 2017, I received an email concerning allocation of equity, which says 10% held by H for the big guy. In that email, there's no question that H stands for Hunter, big guy for his father, Joe Biden, and Jim for Jim Biden. In fact, Hunter often referred to his father as the big guy or my chairman. On numerous occasions, it was made clear to me that Joe Biden's involvement was not to be mentioned in writing, but only face-to-face. In fact, I was advised by Gilliar and Walker that Hunter and Jim Biden were paranoid about keeping Joe Biden's involvement secret.
Tony Bobolinsky, he's no internet troll, okay? He's a serious businessman who met with the Bidens, who worked with Hunter Biden. He knows what he's talking about, yet he's not being taken seriously by anybody, even though he's a serious man with serious allegations. Is Hunter off the hook on the big stuff? He just might be. We'll see. It's amazing. Only a year and a half into the Biden presidency, it looks like they may be on the verge of action against Hunter Biden. Remember what they put the Trump kids through for years and years and years? All that investigation and nothing. Remember when they hauled Donald Trump Jr. up the Capitol Hill? I mean, has Hunter Biden ever undergone anything like this? Why do they treat him with such respect, such deference? And look what they did to the Trump children. Now, who's going to make the decision ultimately on Hunter Biden? I have a feeling there's going to be a big political aspect to this. So Merrick Garland has tried to make it quite clear that, this has nothing to do with me, This will all be the U.S. Attorney's decision, and that person is David Weiss, said to be a fairly apolitical guy. We'll see what happens. At this point, though, Chris Clark, Hunter Biden's defense attorney, is screaming. He is so upset by all the leaks, and he wants people to go to jail. Imagine that, the indignation that he's feeling after years and years of system-wide leaks against Donald Trump. By the way, Chris Clark, show you how swampy it all is. His law partner is actually married to Liz Cheney. Yes, his law partner is a guy named Perry, and he works at the same law firm. Isn't that kind of interesting? I think it's interesting. All right, we will see what happens in the meantime. Are we ready to legalize marijuana as a country? I mean, it seems to be happening. And we didn't have a significant debate about this, in my opinion. You can smell it everywhere. In the midterms, it's on the ballot, legalizing it for recreational use in places like Arkansas, Missouri, the Dakotas, Maryland. And it's already legalized for recreational use in, what, more than half the country? I mean, did we have a serious conversation about this? We did not. People are getting high. They don't know the first thing about marijuana. I know from firsthand experience, you don't want to do this drug. And Joe Biden, who's been a teetotaler his entire life, you know, he signed on for everything the left wants in order to be president. Well, they want this.
First, I'm announcing a pardon for all prior federal offenses for the simple possession of marijuana. There are thousands of people who are convicted for marijuana possession who may be denied employment, housing, or educational opportunities as a result of that conviction. My pardon will remove this burden on them. Second, I'm calling on all governors to do the same for state marijuana possession offenses. Third, the federal government currently classifies marijuana as a Schedule I substance, the same as heroin and LSD, and more serious than fentanyl. It makes no sense. So I'm asking the Secretary of Health and Human Services and the Attorney General to initiate a process to review how marijuana is scheduled under federal law.
This is a big mistake, and the signal, I think, encourages essentially, it's de facto legalization, and people are going to be smoking this stuff. You can't do it in Russia. You can't do it in China. Our adversaries have very strict prohibitions against this kind of stuff. Now, all of a sudden, we don't. Isn't that right, Joe?
Too many lives have been upended because of our failed approach to marijuana. It's time that we right these wrongs.
Too many lives have been upended by marijuana. It's dangerous stuff. I know everybody talks about, oh, medical marijuana. It's not approved by the FDA. Who wants this so badly, right? Who wants it? How did this happen? A long time, and then all of a sudden, I think Barack Obama's into it. You know, Barack Obama, cool, aloof, Barack Obama. You know, he admitted to cocaine use, and maybe he's a habitual pot smoker. Who knows? He certainly liked it in his youth. Do you remember this? Yes, he did. And I wonder how many people are smoking in the Biden cabinet, because let's face it, this is a disaster. When you smoke pot, you get sloppy and stupid, all right? I know there are people out there who swear by this stuff. You don't know what you're talking about, in my opinion. We have had some pretty bad mistakes lately, right? I mean, I could totally see these guys smoking pot. What's going on overseas? What about when Joe made all nice and fist bumped that king or prince, MBS, whatever he is, and asked for more oil? What do we get? An oil reduction. 2 million barrels less per day. They did that. And now, guess what? Some Democrats in America are saying, well, we should withdraw all of our military forces. We should not cooperate with them militarily, both Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. Oh, my goodness gracious. Do you know how important it is to have forces over there, right? This is all unraveling because Joe Biden is weak. It's really happening. And does pot have a role in this? Probably not, but who knows? I do know he's weak. And I do know we are going downhill fast. Midterms can't get here soon enough. All right. Hey, stay with us. Do you remember what happened in Waukesha, Wisconsin? There's a good chance you don't because it's been so underplayed by the media. A madman, probably motivated by black identity extremism, drove and hit 6 people, killed them at a Christmas Day parade. Well, his trial is underway right now, and it is quite the spectacle. He is defending himself. Stay with us.